Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Get Off the Damn Fence. I'm your host, Larry Carson, joined as I am each and every week by co-host Calvin Thomas, and we will soon be joined by Justin Theater Butler Harris. Calvin, what's going on, brother? How you doing tonight?
Man, so it's a Laker night, so pardon my attention being divided until this game gets out of hand in about 45 minutes. So, but hey, I'm good.
Yeah,
How about yourself?
yeah,
I'm good. About yourself? How about yourself?
I'm good, man. It's a good week. Good week to be, you know, alive. That's how I look at it. Mother's Day weekend coming up. Shout
Yeah,
out to all the mothers out there. We
yeah,
salute you. My mother,
you are
Lynette Caution.
appreciated.
I love you. Thank you for always being my biggest supporter. Next to my lady Kenya. Her birthday is on Saturday.
It's an expensive
Happy,
weekend for you.
yeah, expensive weekend. But it's worth it. It's not like I didn't know it was
Sure,
coming. You know what I mean?
sure. Yeah,
But happy soon to be birthday to Kenya. Thank you for always. She on this show every week in the comment section. She might not always speak, but she always hit that love button to let us know that she watches.
resident Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But we appreciate you, baby. We're gonna celebrate you this weekend. Calvin, give a couple shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to the women in my life. My mother, actually, my grandma's birthday is today as well.
Oh
She's
man, happy
her
birthday, grandma.
birthday is today. She's 92.
That's a blessing. That's a
91,
blessing.
92. So her birthday's today, and then of course Mother's Day is Sunday. So yeah, so shout out to my grandmother. I talked to her today. Uh, to my mother's, Valentine. I'm sorry, Mother's Day this weekend. My wife, the mother of my son, my only son. So we're going to shed perhaps some joy, have some fun this weekend. Celebrating those women in my life.
That's great.
Father's Day is around the corner too, so I just want y'all to
That's
remember
right.
this.
That's right.
Remember
Because y'all
all
like
this
to do that on
love.
Father's Day.
Yeah,
Y'all
remember
like to
all
do
this
that.
love that's going to be shared this weekend as I break
Right.
my
Take a
pockets.
picture.
So yeah,
Hey man, give us a little update, little Kobe. Is it on the baseball tee?
oh
Give the
man,
world
look,
what's going on with my man.
look, they had an ugly week, so we've been hitting the practice field kind of hard. It's been an ugly week, but yeah, they coming around. They're coming around. Shout out to the Gold Spartans of Owens Mills. They coming around, but it started off kind of ugly. It started off kind of ugly over the weekend, but no, we gonna turn this thing around. We got a month and a half. We're gonna turn around.
Well,
My
we
my
gotta start.
guy's been at shortstop. He's been a catcher. They moving him around. He like the arm is there. Like the arm to get to first base is there, and that's why they kind of like him. And he's not afraid to take a hit in that catcher position. So
Okay.
I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. So we're gonna see how that work out. But
Hey
they
man,
got some work.
definitely gonna
We got to
make
put
it
some
out
work in.
there.
We got to put some work in.
All right, we're definitely gonna make it out there to support him, but we don't want to go prematurely if he not,
Yeah,
where he need to
we gonna
be.
get some clips, but we're gonna
You
make
know
sure
what I mean?
they the good clips when they circulate for the
There you
next
go.
20 years
Let him,
online.
let him
So,
let him get his feet wet, get his legs,
yeah,
get his sea legs first. You know what I mean? And then before I know it, look, I know my godsons, couple of them, they started off rough, and then all of a sudden you just see them get better and
yeah.
better and
That's
better. That's the
that's
joy.
the thing when you
You know?
see them like and that's the part of life when you see them do anything just get better and like it's just that seeing them grow up but also
Yep.
seeing them grow up type thing. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna work with
This
them.
the
We're gonna
fun
work with
part.
them.
This is the fun part. Them early years, that's great. You know what I mean? But now they starting to grasp reality, getting to see,
Yeah,
okay, all right, we can do some stuff here. So go make us some money, son. but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's great, man. Shout out to Kobe. He gonna come a long way. We know it. We know it. A lot going on in the world of sports. Let's see. Andre said if anyone wants to donate to his catch again,
Bruh, I did not realize how much that costs.
y'all need to go to Play It Again Sports. You know,
Bruh, the
go to
play it
Play
again
It
sports
Again.
had everything two sizes too big for him. Like I need
You went?
everything to fit. Yeah, yeah,
I'll check the one down the street from here.
bro.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
I didn't
I
know that
got
stuff
one
that
right there.
expensive.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That stuff don't play.
and it's
Hey,
Mother's Day
go.
weekend.
Hey
Whew.
man, go check out that at Whatnot. I'm telling you, they
I
got
may
something.
I may check that. I didn't check that. So I'll
They
say that I
got
did not
something.
check that.
Everything, man. I be on there constantly, man. Anyway, that's good stuff. We gotta get into some other sports tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers have started off their series with the Detroit Pistons down 0-2 after losing tonight. Um, James Harden, man, we got to talk about it, man. I don't like
What
narratives
they
of
still saying?
great players or former great players or players that used to be good, but that's just a reality. Some people, when the lights are the brightest, they shrink.
Yeah,
And unfortunately,
yeah,
there was a spell there where James Harden offensively was probably one of the more gifted shooting guard, point guard, whatever you want to
best in
call
the
it,
league.
of all time. Like just what he could do with the basketball, getting to the rim, shooting from three, the step back, he had the moves, he had everything you would want except for that clutch gene. Like even we go
Yeah,
back to the Houston series, back when they was up what 3-1 versus they was up 3-2, I think,
three
against
two against Golden
Golden
State.
State, and then Chris
Yeah,
Paul got hurt,
yeah, got
and
hurt
then it
game
all
6.
just crumbled.
Yep.
Chris Paul should not have been the only reason why y'all had a chance. You got James Harden, who many people feel one of those MVPs that Russ got. People felt like
Should be
James should have got.
his. Yeah,
He could be a multiple time MVP.
yeah,
But time at the time, in the biggest moments, when you got more turnovers than you got points, more turnovers you got field goals, more turnovers than you got like assists, like something is wrong.
yeah.
And we're going to juxtapose that to someone like LeBron James, which is not fair. We're talking about LeBron as one of the greatest who ever played the game. So, of course, there's levels to this. But LeBron is older, has played way more minutes,
Yeah,
more responsibility,
yeah,
never been a fourth, this is the first time he's been a third option.
yeah.
But James, you got Donovan Mitchell. You got, come on. What's your thoughts on Harden, man?
Look, you try to give him the benefit of the doubt regularly. You think that the next year he won't repeat last year's mistakes. When you have your last, I think it's three or four games at this point, where you had more turnovers than made baskets per game, and and like you said, and what you're in a situation where you're not even the best, you're not even number one option. That's Donovan Mitchell. You're not even the second option. That's Evan Mobley. So your responsibility is to be there to hit the clutch shots, to be the point guard, to set up the offense. And now you're facing a tougher team. And what happens? Now maybe you get some home cooking. Maybe Kenny Atkinson can maneuver when they get back to Cleveland. For game 3 on Saturday. But this is the same James Harden. We try to give him the benefit of the doubt, but we don't see it. And you expect it differently of him this year, with him not being number one option, with him being the East. But maybe this is just who he is, and we got to accept it. And we got to, at this point in his career, this is year 15, 16 for him. He came out in 08. So this is just who he is, I guess.
It's sad that we're saying that, though. That's just who he is. But at the end of the day, Cleveland went and got him because they felt like he was a missing piece. I'm not throwing out. I'm not ringing the alarm that he can't bounce back from this. That's not what I'm saying. My issue is in Detroit. We saw how Detroit struggled against Orlando. We saw how the success the guard play had in that series. So you would think coming into this series, Harden, you got Cade, you got like a matchup that you really should be able to take advantage of, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, be more aggressive. I'm sorry, man. And again, you in Detroit, things will change, like you say, when you get back to home cooking. Maybe some things will even out, but I just need more from James Harden. It's disappointing, man. Anyway, that series is 2-0. Detroit heading back to Cleveland. This series is like most series. I think every series is every other day, right? So they'll bounce right back, be on Saturday. No, Friday night. Today Thursday. They'll be on Saturday. So Saturday they right back at it. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But let's keep it moving. Let's swing over to the Western Conference, and we saw the San Antonio Spurs. And look, let me say this: the Minnesota Timberwolves matched up perfectly against the Denver Nuggets. They were able to take advantage of everything Denver doesn't do well. All right. I think they look very impressive despite the injuries. Remember, they beat Denver without their best player,
Yeah.
without the breakout star of that series as well, and
Yeah.
went on a hell of a run.
Yeah.
But against San Antonio, I just think San Antonio's defense, their bench, they're just a little deeper than Minnesota. And Minnesota just got blown out of the building in game two. You know, they were able to still win in game one. I thought winning that game was impressive. They were coming off of the momentum of that series prior against Denver. And I think that gave a lot of people pause like, oh, maybe they can beat San Antonio. But at the end of the day, Minnesota did what they were supposed to do. They stole
Yeah.
one. They
Stole one
got
on the
one
road.
in San
Yeah.
Antonio. They stole home court. How do you see this series going down now after what you saw in game one and juxtapose that to game two?
If you told me Anthony Edwards would be healthy, which we know he's not, and just look, going into game two, San Antonio got some inspiration from Coach Pop. Pop was in there and told them everything that they did not do in game one. You could say that they took the series lightly when they knew Anthony Edwards wasn't going to be healthy. You knew they were going to be banged up in Minnesota. I don't expect them to win another ball game. With Ant just being banged up, coming off the bench in game one, not even being able to start, being on the minutes restriction. Anthony Edwards has shown enough fight, been to back-to-back Western Conference Finals, but he's not healthy. And I got to take that into account against a San Antonio Spurs team that's rolling on all cylinders, that has Wemby. If Wemby takes 10 shots in the paint, you're going to win the ball game. If he takes 10 threes, now it's kind of up in the air. And what happened in game one when he took these 8 threes and he made one and he's living outside the paint? He had a triple-double. But you shouldn't have a triple-double with 10 points if you're Wemby. You should get 10 points in the paint in the first quarter. He should have lived in the paint. And that was the problem with game one. You rectify in game two, and they win by almost, 30? So I don't expect San Antonio to have any struggles going forward. This isn't – if you want to say Wemby's the best in the game because of how he's dealt with Rudy Gobert versus how Jokic did, you got that argument. But San Antonio shouldn't have any problems with a banged-up Minnesota team. With Anthony Edwards on a minutes restriction, you don't have your best guy. You don't have him for as much time as you need to. He's got to play – he can play 25, not 45 minutes. This series is over.
See, I disagree with you. I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Okay.
I think Minnesota did what they were supposed to do in game one, and they stole game one.
Okay.
San Antonio played desperate in game two, and you were at home. Those shots were falling. Some of those shots might not go down in Minnesota. And you got to take into account that game was close, and then all of a sudden, right before half, the doors got blown off. And it was like, I felt like Chris Finch was like, all right, pack it in. Like, we'll see him in game three.
The problem I have with that is, why did Anthony Edwards play in the second half then when they were up 20? Like, if that's the case, and you packed it in. I think he wanted to
see how well was that league. And I think Anthony Edwards is going to start the next game. I don't think he's going to be on a consistent minute restriction. You don't have to keep him on the – if you feel like he was good enough to go. I get game one. Game two, I think Ant should have started. But, again, it worked in game one. I think you go back out there, see what he got. I didn't see any hobble. I didn't see anything.
I mean, he limped a lot in game one. So, and with them playing every other day, you don't get 2 days rest or something. I think until after around game 6. That's just a tough.
I thought he limped. He didn't even limp. He gave a little bit of a after he made that hell of a move with that dunk, and he came down. He was like, the adrenaline a little bit, but I really do think Minnesota looked good. Like game two, once it's a blowout, it's a blowout. You pack it in. You already stole home court. My issue is this, and I said this. I love the upside of Victor Wembanyama. I do. I think he's going to be a sensational player. But he still, to me, settles for playing like a small guy rather than utilizing all of his tools. And I thought at spurts, he did it last night. But if you watch that game was ugly. I mean, early, Almost the first half was ugly basketball, man. Like I say, San Antonio went on a hell of a run, and that will open the game up. But before that, they were not making shots. They were not looking successful. I thought Rudy's defense impacted them greatly. I thought McDaniel's defense was good. For everything, being on the road, up 1-0, going against a desperate team at home, I saw more positive signs for Minnesota, especially if Ant go back and get starters minutes again. I think he'll recover. Justin, what's going on tonight? Give us your thoughts on this Spurs Minnesota series.
First and foremost, I apologize for my tardiness when it comes to that. Secondly, I agree with Larry on 100% on this. I think they came out, especially Anthony Edwards. I don't think he's limited. Like he's playing. Like if you can play, you can play. So he's on the court right now. At what he put up 24 minutes. What you want? Maybe like
that means it's limited, right?
But you want like an extra five? Yeah, it was a blowout. You know what I'm saying? I think they came with the mindset of
they played game one.
And they got one.
Game one.
He played
24
in the fourth quarter. He had like 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Okay, but he played 24 minutes and they won by 2.
But think about it. They did have him on a minutes restriction. I get that. But they were easing him into it. And then when the minutes mattered down the stretch, he was in there the whole time. And like
but he still only played 24 minutes. So they eased him to get to the fourth quarter.
Smart. And then they
okay.
So what you over under 30? What's your thought on that for game 3?
If it's not a blowout?
If it's not a blowout.
Under. Come on, minutes, right? Not points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Under.
I got over. I think he's fine. Good enough to play as many minutes. He can come off the bench just to make sure that he warms it up a little bit more. Pause. But I think he starts. To be honest with you, I think
coming off the bench in game 2 was part of the problem. They were missing that offensive spark. You know what I mean? That he typically gives them. And go ahead.
We'll say because whatchamacallit is out for the remainder of the series, right? AO. No.
Yeah, AO went out late in the. He went out with because he started. I think that was part of the problem. Even trying to get him back into the rotation because he didn't play game 1. He came game 2, and I think
he's done. I think he's done for the series though.
Yeah, it might be for the best in a way. But go ahead.
No. Okay, so I truly believe that like Anthony Edwards plays over 30. And we're gonna see what happens when it comes to game 3. I was disappointed in game 1. I was disappointed in the way the Spurs played. I was disappointed in the way Wemby played. Like he played very passive. Like he was unsure about a lot of things. So I don't think the pressure's getting to him. He knows Rudy. He knows how to play against him. Maybe Rudy knows how to play against him as well. So it could be a somewhat of a chess match, but they didn't play as well as they should, and they barely got a victory. So game 2 was more indicative of what I thought the series would look like. Not necessarily that big of a blowout, but I do think that they should be able to beat this team with relative ease based off of their injury situation and Dante DiVincenzo not being there. I think he's a vital piece to that team. So it's a lot. I just think San Antonio is better. But we'll see what happens in game 3. But yeah, I do think that Anthony Edwards will be playing over 30 minutes in game 3.
I just think the reason why they lost the way they did is, look, he's been playing great, but Julius Randle had an off night. Like, he had wide open layups, like, and was blowing bunnies. Like, and he let what's the white boy name on San Antonio, the backup for Wemby. Anyway, he outplayed him. Like, he was getting blocks, he was getting layups, I'm not saying he scored more points or nothing, but out-hustled him.
Plumlee?
No. What's his name?
Play for Boston. Used to play for Boston. Olynyk.
Yeah, hustle plays, man. He was all over the place. And I'm just saying, if Anthony Edwards is not going to start, that clears the deck for Julius to start fast. And I think they scored the least points they've ever scored all season in the first quarter. They got up to a very sluggish start. At one point, both teams had missed like 9 shots in a row. Like it was just like ugly stretch of basketball. It only took a couple threes and then three, quack, 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 and it broke open. But that wasn't a Wemby thing. Like Wemby had a solid game.
They were spent. They were spent. They spent their energy on game one. And sometimes when it comes to basketball, it's all right. We're gonna give it a shot as long as we can give it a shot. But once this thing is over, it's over. We're gonna go ahead on and try again. So, to that point, they had a game plan of just getting one. You know, that's an age old thing you hear all the time, especially when it comes to series. Yo, we gonna steal one and we good to go. You know what I'm saying? Yo, come see us. I saw some of the players' mouths like they was like, "Yo, come see us in Minnesota." You know what I'm saying? So they were happy with the outcome that they got, and they gonna see them in Minnesota.
So, how many games y'all got the series going?
But yeah, again,
okay.
Yeah, it's over.
Minnesota can get another one. You don't think they can get one more? I think as Ant gets better, he'll play more minutes. I don't think
he gets better. That's the thing. I don't think he gets better. I think that's the problem. Like every other day, and he was already injured. He was supposed to be out a couple of weeks. He comes back in less than a week, and he's playing every other day. I don't think he gets better. I don't to the point where
Cornette. Yeah. Cornette. That's him. Not Lennox. Cornette. That's who it was. Yeah, that's him. But no, I get what you're saying, but I just watched the Denver series, man. This Minnesota team, they're a resilient bunch, man. This is gonna be a series. This ain't gonna be no cakewalk. And they're a defensive-minded team. And I'm gonna give Chris Finch credit. He's a good coach, man. I thought he went with his big lineup a little bit too much last night. So I think that was a negative. And I think it was almost like a chess move in a way because Wemby was playing on a perimeter in game one, shooting all them threes and stuff like that. So they went small, had Nas Reed at the 5, put when you had out there, Julie, put Reed at the 5. That's Jaden McDaniels, and you got Mike Conley had played some big minutes in game one. Yeah. You didn't even get to go to that lineup that much in game two because it got out of hand. But if you get them 5 on the court, I think that's a tough lineup for San Antonio, especially if Champagne not hitting his shots, if you're not getting consistent production out of your point guard, because I thought he played better in game 2. Give him all credit in the world. But, man, guard play got to show up. Guard play got to show up for San Antonio. It's interesting, though. I liked it. Game 1, to me, that's probably the best basketball game I've seen in a while, man. Like, both teams came out there. It went down to the wire. That was a good game.
Yeah, it was a missed shot.
It was a
missed shot. With all that being said, and as well as Minnesota played,
a good decision not to take a timeout?
No, it was a perfect shot. He wasn't going to get a better shot.
He wasn't going to get a better. Yeah, I agree with that. With the broken defense,
I agree. I agree.
Like you said, they been playing good defense. You don't let them set their defense. You get a good shot. You miss a shot. But, yeah. I mean, on the other hand, Julius Randle missed a shot to put him up 4. So
they shouldn't have been that close, and they had a bad turnover. But let's move it over. We've already talked about that Cleveland Detroit series just before you logged on. But did you have any quick thoughts on that? We talked about James Harden. You got anything to add?
That he's trash in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Living up to the rep.
That's all I said. That's all I've been saying.
Let's go to the New York Philly series. Hey, man. Word came down yesterday. Joel Embiid was not going to be playing in game 2.
Better without him.
I said that. Against Boston, especially when you got the coach out there putting lineups out there of people who we probably never even heard of
together and all
in game 7. I get it, no Tatum, but you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. This team was rolling before Tatum even got back. Why you going out there anyway? But it allowed Embiid to go out there and have a field day in game 7. But against New York, hey, man, I'm highly critical. Y'all know I'm highly critical of Karl Anthony Towns. I ain't calling him cat. But Karl Anthony Towns
Big Purr.
showed up in game 1 and 2. I will tip my hat to him. Brunson, we kind of know what to expect from him in the Garden. He plays sensational at home. But I will give, even with the foul trouble, Karl Anthony Towns was phenomenal. I don't use that word loosely, and maybe because he helped my parlay, but Karl Anthony Towns was sensational. He was dominant, fleet of foot. He made a great first move. He wasn't waiting for the double team to come. He took people off the dribble. He made Joel look so bad. Joel even won playing game 2. I mean, the man played well. And then in game 2, every time there was a mismatch, he went to work. Now, I thought that Philly did a good adjustment, putting Paul George on him late in the second half. And I think Paul George, that might be the thing for them. I would just put Paul George on him because I think George played him more straight up, especially with no OG, because apparently he got a lower leg injury, might be gone for a little bit.
I thought he was playing, though. I thought he said it wasn't as bad.
It's day to day.
Okay.
So if you ain't got to put Paul George on OG, because OG had another great game, I put Paul George on Cat. You say, do your thing, big fella. Do your thing. But anyway, Justin, our resident Knick fan, give us your thoughts. 2 games, y'all up 2-0. Go on to Philly. What's your thoughts?
I will start on the Philly side. Philadelphia, I was telling some of my coworkers that I've never seen a team this polar in my life, and I say that because they can play one way with Embiid, and you have to be prepared for a 75% because he's never 100% Embiid playing with them. And then they will totally flip the script, and they don't have no problems playing without Embiid. And then it's the Maxey show for the majority of the thing, and they're 100% okay with that. So in that Boston series, they had to prepare for 2 different teams, and you should know that heading into the series, but they did not, and they got smacked for it. With or without Tatum, you have to be prepared for that. We are prepared because we've seen it. We've seen the beast of Philadelphia a couple years ago. We understand what it is. We understand that. I've said it myself. I said Maxey is the most dangerous player on that team. I said that 2 years ago. And so that's why we kept Mitchell Robinson for players like this. Mitchell can play. Yes, 1 second. Go upstairs. Go pee. Mitchell can play Embiid 1-on-1, and we're okay with that, and so on and so forth. OG can play Paul George head up and things like that. So we have enough. Mikal Bridges did a wonderful job on Maxey. We have enough players to go either way, however they want to play it. But the main reason why we're winning is because we have JB's been playing great, but that's not it. And Larry alluded to it, and I like to say it myself. It's called top of the key Towns. That's what it's called. It's called top of the key Towns. He plays like Jokic, only at the top of the key. I'm not saying whatever Jokic can do that throughout the Jokic can do that throughout the whole entire offensive flow. No matter where he's at on the floor, Carl has to be at the top of the key. And once he's at the top of the key, it's a whole different situation. And he looks for the pass, he looks for the cutters. He can take somebody out the dribble, he can shoot it if you back up. Like it's a great offense to deploy, and that's what we've been doing. So I love every second of it, and we're gonna see what it is. Now with OG being out for possibly being out, it looks like he's gonna be out for game 3. We're going to see what's going to happen then. I do believe that's why we got the bench and all that stuff. When I was looking at game 1, I was like, it seems like one team is fatigued and the other team is not. JB is firing on all cylinders right now. I think he's pretty much rested as you're going to be at this particular time. So it has worked. Mike Brown's system has worked. It had its ups and downs, but with that, they're fresher. Top of the key Towns is working. And we're just going to see what happens moving forward, man. I'm loving it.
Top of the key Towns. I like that. Calvin?
Look, this Philadelphia team has the ability to adapt with or without Embiid. I think they play better against the Knicks without Embiid. Better ball movement, not as clogged in the paint. And you have Drummond out there who can actually be active rebounding and kind of facilitating the break on those defensive rebounds. but it is still a bad matchup when you're relying on Edgecombe to provide most of your scoring along with Maxey, because Paul George really can't give you those elite numbers that he was putting up, 5 years ago in his career. I thought this would be a better matchup than it was. I think they can still get one. I think Embiid can give you one game in the playoffs. You give him an extra couple of days to get healthy. I think this should be his best physical game in this series because he's going to have that extra day of rest. With no OG, maybe you free up Edgecombe, maybe you free up a PG to get a little bit more effective offensively. But New York has the advantage. They still have JB, they still have Cat, they still are arguably the best two players in the series. So they shouldn't struggle. They'll probably give it one game, in my opinion.
See, I don't know. I hear what you're saying, but I thought PG played good. I think
he plays good in spurts. He doesn't have that. He can give it to you for 35 minutes. It's a good 5-minute stretch here.
I guess what I'm saying is he had 19 in the third quarter.
You needed 20.
But I needed 20. But what I'm saying is, you do have to take into account what happened. They said Karl Anthony Towns is abusing everybody we put on him. You talk about Drummond. Drummond only played 15 minutes. George played 43 minutes. Oubre played 40. Maxey played 47. Edgecombe 40. So, yeah, Drummond, he was a liability. They got him up out of there. They put Barlow in there.
They just needed more offensively. That was the other problem, though.
Barlow wasn't an offensive thing. They needed to match up defensively because they put George. Remember, OG was going to work. Once OG went out, that freed him up a little bit. Yeah. And that's why I say it will change a little bit now because you don't have to worry about OG and his I don't want to say nothing, embrace my pause, whatever, but his left pause and the way he can stretch the floor, that was a mismatch issue because Paul George got to go off of him and go play Karl Anthony Towns. Now he's sacrificing his offense to worry about playing defense. Remember, this was a close game all the way down the stretch. It wasn't until a couple minutes, this was a good game.
Till they got up on what more than 2
I think they said this game had more lead changes than I think they said any game in the playoffs. I'm gonna look that up, but I remember them saying the game was back and forth. This was not like game one at all. It's not a blowout. To me, this was promising. If anything, to Philly, if they tighten up a few things and then you add in the fact no OG in the lineup, that will help them with that playing Oubre more quality minutes, keeping him out there. Then you can move Paul George the Cat. Now, if you want to sprinkle in more Drummond, you can, but you don't need to. But then that'll make them play Mitchell Robinson because now Cat is on the power forward because you can't put Mitchell Robinson. Huh?
I said that's what you kind of want for them, though.
Yeah, but if you put Mitchell Robinson, then you can play Drummond. You can't play Drummond if you got Cat at the 5. But
he didn't even play us. He was sick, right? Or
I didn't see Mitchell Robinson out there, did you?
Yeah, he was sick.
He had an illness. They didn't say what it was.
Yeah. That
was Embiid not playing. So you sit your tail out too.
Yeah, you get a rest too.
You get a rest.
I think the matchups changed because like you say, Paul George had 7 minutes and 33 seconds left in the third quarter. He ain't scored another point, but he transferred over on defense to play Cat, and Cat was pretty quiet down the stretch too. All of it, Brunson took over the game. Brunson went to work. Brunson, every time they got that switch and Barlow was on him, it was barbecue chicken. And I get it, you had to do it. I mean, you couldn't have Drummond out there on the island on the switch, but why do they switch everything? That's the problem I got.
That's the NBA today.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. You putting that boy on the island against Jalen Brunson, of course it's over. That made no sense. But anyway, I thought this was a good game. It went back and forth. Justin, did you hear that stat about the most lead changes in the playoff game or something like that? It was back and forth.
Well, if you look at I'm looking at the yes, you can tell it was back and forth if you was watching the game. At the end of the first quarter, it was 33-31. This is points per quarter. 29-30 in the second quarter. 28 all in the third quarter.
Okay.
So it wasn't only to the fourth quarter, and both teams, like to your point, the offense did take a step back, so defense did kick it up in the fourth quarter, but New York outscored them by 7, 12-19. But at the end of the day, yes, it was back and forth. It was that's a playoff basketball, man.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's what I mean. And the adjustments were made, but I think the problem is when Embiid is in there, and he's a great player. Nobody's saying that. He's a defensive liability if he's not healthy. That's just the bottom line. If you look at game one, they had that man in the spin cycle, man. That one move Cat gave him on the side on the baseline. Oh, and he dunked it. Then they had him in a pick and roll. That man stood no chance. So
nah, it's he's just it might be over. Like it's feast or famine with him.
But we say that, and we saw what happened in the Boston series. Remember, he came out there against Boston. Everybody like, why they put him in there? And they blew Philly out. The next game, win. They won 3 in a row.
One of the last 3.
You just never know.
There's nothing they could do with him.
You just never know. But anyway, how many games is going, Calvin?
5.
Justin?
6.
Okay. All right, and the final series is currently playing right now. The Los Angeles Lakers is in OKC. They're down 27-31. Pretty close game. It's been kind of, I know OKC had got out to a little bit of a lead, but looked like the Lakers are clawing back a little bit. But, man, that last game, I get Austin Reeves just coming back. You got look, man, you gotta help Bron out, man. You gotta help Bron out. Anyway, Calvin, you the resident Lakers fan. What's your thoughts?
They don't have enough. Look, you had a phenomenal LeBron game in game 1, and you still almost lost by 20. I'm not blaming Austin Reeves for going 3 of 16. He's had 2 of the worst shooting games from a Laker period in his.
You're not blaming him for missing all them shots.
I'm blaming him for not. I'm saying he's not healthy, but he's got to be out there and be aggressive on offense. But I didn't have him
on the floor. He on the floor.
But I don't have him. I don't have them winning with a healthy Austin Reeves and no Luka anyway. So I'm not.
He shoots 50%. That's a whole different ballgame.
He's also showing that he's not a max player at this point. I think that's also being shown. You can't pay him $35 million a year and expect him to be a number 1 guy when you can't even do this right now. Even you're playing against a good a good defensive team in Oklahoma City. That's fine, but I need you to do more than score 8 points if you're going to contend in this matchup. This is already an uphill battle. We don't expect Luka to be back because of the grade of his hamstring strain, but this is just a tough matchup, and this is a bad matchup for the Lakers. When Chet gets anything he wants to inside, he can get whatever he wants. Shea had a poor game. Shea's first game under 20 points in 2-3 years, and they smoked and you still win by 18. So if Shea has an average game, you're talking about losing by 30. And I just don't see it. This Oklahoma City team is deep. This Oklahoma City team plays great defense, and the Lakers don't have any help.
What's your thoughts, Jesse?
If you're not healthy, don't play. And it's just as simple as that. Like maybe JJ didn't want to pull him, you know what I'm saying? But once you realize that he ain't got it, who knows? I know Luke got some more, he got like damn near 30 minutes, but this is the time when somebody could have stepped up, and that's what happened in the first series. Y'all didn't expect Marcus Smart or Roy to have the games that they was having and things like that. So it could have been somebody else's time to do it. You know what I'm saying? But also say, well, I'm gonna keep on shooting. No, you need to shoot yourself right to the bench and sit beside JJ and let somebody else play at least have a better plus minus. So I think that was just bad all around. So I guess they gave the young fellow the shot, but it didn't work. And apparently it's not working even tonight. So they probably lose tonight too. But they should They should. You know, it's you gotta steal one, maybe game 5, something like that.
You got to get
once
to
you get
game
to a low
5
flow.
first.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're going to win 1 or 2 at home. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But no, it's bad. You wasted a LeBron James performance. That's what you did. And shout out to LeBron. I just want to give LeBron his like this is some of the most fun. I will test him. I will have to seriously test him after these games because
It's impossible, man.
I don't have the words because I've never seen this before. Like I've never seen someone at this age play at such a high level. Whereas though, like I don't even want to blame him for anything. Like I'm just not like even I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just I've never been such a fan of LeBron James up until this point, right? Like right now, like I am a bona fide fan of LeBron James because it's unbelievable what he's doing. Why is it tough?
This is what I'm saying. For us to come on a podcast or go on these shows, and I listen to podcasts and I really don't want to be that guy to be like, oh, you got to take his age into account and judge him. Yeah, we want to judge everybody according to, hey, if you're on the court, you good enough, you should be, if you still playing, you need to be judged like anybody else. But no, you got to take into account that, look, we all around 40. This is our 40th year. To expect somebody to do at 40 athletically, physically, what they were doing, what these guys are doing at 21, 22, and 23, it's just not even like conceivable. You know what I mean? In basketball, yeah, it's certain golf or some non-contact sport where that doesn't matter. But this guy's running up and down. Look at the minutes tonight. He's played all 13 minutes so far. Nobody on the Thunder has played 13 minutes. They got, 10, 12, 9, 10, 6, 7, 4, 6, 4. He don't have that luxury. When you watch these games, as soon as LeBron leaves the court, it's a noticeable decline. Like you have
just
so
like
much
back in the day.
Yes. You have so much pressure on you still at this level. The whole point of going to get a Luka, the whole point of needing these assets to help is so that I can take a back seat. They gone, I still got to be LeBron James because guess what? He's still going to be judged. He's still going to be looked at legacy-wise. Oh, you didn't get it done. By his detractors, people who really smart and in tune with the game. Bro, you got to respect it, man. You got to. Calvin.
This is arguably the best team in the league this year, and I think everyone wants to see Oklahoma City San Antonio Spurs matchup in the Western Conference Finals. Oklahoma City's just too good for this team. It's a bad matchup for the Lakers. It's Chet. It's the interior presence. It's you can't have LeBron playing the 4 against Chet. You got to have him on the wing, and they're doing this also without Williams, who's out with a hamstring, and we don't know when he'll be back. So they're not even at full strength as well. And he's missed the majority of the season thus far. So. Look, I'm hoping to get a gentleman's sweep out of it. When you notice or noted that Luka will not be back, and no matter how far the first round went, no matter how far the series goes, it just kind of puts a damper on it. So it is what it is at this point. But I think you have to hope and you have to expect LeBron to get you one.
But it shouldn't be like that, Calvin.
You're right. It shouldn't. It should not at 41.
What I mean by
not
that
at LeBron
is,
at 41.
There is no rule that says DeAndre Ayton got to be 1 for 6 right now. There's no rule that says that, Luke Kennard has taken one shot.
Can we give some credit to Oklahoma City's defense?
No, he's a shooter. Get him the ball.
No. I'm talking about the Ayton being 0 for 6.
Oh,
that plays a part.
I'm talking about the fact that Luke Kennard, the guy who was so instrumental in 2 wins against Houston, maybe 3, has only taken 1 shot tonight. He was on the court for 8 minutes. So shouldn't the point guard make sure he try to get that man a look?
Who's the point
That's
guard?
a shooter.
You talking about Austin Reeves? Making sure he gives him.
Marcus Smart is the point guard.
How'd that work?
Am I right or wrong? Like, get my shooter the ball. Like, I got a problem with that. So yeah, they playing a great team, but you do have some weapons. Let's not act like that's my point. You can't. It's not like LeBron is so dominant that he's just not allowing other people to shine. Y'all got to knock down shots when the shots are there. Like Austin Reeves, you playing a little better tonight. Give you a little credit. Game is closer, but again, I want Luke Kennard on the floor shooting more than 2 shots for the game. Like, he had a sensational series versus Houston. You wouldn't even be here without Luke. JJ, you got to get that man involved. Make sure you draw some plays for your shooters. That's all I'm saying. Like, I get we waving a white flag like there's no it's unsurmountable odds or whatever like that. There's something that can be done. Like this is basketball. You as long as you got LeBron, you got a chance. But your role players got to show up. That just comes with it, man. And like you say, if Austin Reeves want to get paid, we've seen him go for 35, 40. We've seen him
now
go
the
off.
time you got to do it.
It's the time to do it.
Yeah.
It's the time to do it. No other way to put it, man. Anyway, so we'll continue to monitor that. But you said gentleman's sweep. Interesting.
Yeah.
Justin, you got 4? Yep, pretty much. Yep. So those are the playoffs right now. Let's take a look at some of these other stories going on around the league. Jaylen Brown, man. Got to talk about JB. Look, we talked briefly about him going on the stream. No, we haven't talked about it because this just happened over the weekend. He was complaining about Joel Embiid flopping and not getting the calls, and that he doesn't get like he feel like there's a vendetta against him, and the league, the referees have it out for him. Other superstars, they have flopped, and it's hurting the game, and he's not one that flops. Now, if you watch even the last game he played in, I mean, my man was running over people. He was doing all kinds of stuff out there. So I don't know. What are y'all thoughts? And then there's a lot of rumors about possible trade for Giannis.
I don't see that, but
I mean, Nick Young, that was Nick. That it wasn't bad. Nick Wright, it was right.
I heard
Nick, was right.
Yeah, Nick Wright said that, and I heard it on Get Up that morning from Wilbon. I don't think Wilbon brought it up. I think somebody else brought it up, and Wilbon was like, "Damn, that might be good." And then Nick Wright talked about it later in the day. But what's y'all thoughts? Everything with Jaylen Brown. I'll start with you, Justin.
You know, it's timing is one thing. I think he made a comment saying that, forgive me if I'm wrong, that was like the best series he had or something like that. Like
he said it was the most fun he had in the season, something to that
season. Effect. Yeah, and that's the same season that JT's out.
Yep.
And you didn't have fun when you won a championship, when you was player in finals MVP and all that stuff. You got the Bird Trophy and everything. So this
MVP.
This is that same, within that same time frame, and and then you saying like, "Oh, you didn't have the best game, bro. You look bad." And instead of just like if you would have came out there and dropped 35, 40, damn near triple double, shot at a decent clip, and you still caught an L. Okay, you got some credence there, you probably could have went to the line a couple more times, so on and so forth. But you didn't. You played like crap. Then you talked about Joel Embiid too. Like, what we doing? Like, like you 0 for 3, my guy. Like, you're out of line. He's just out of line, man. So, JB is one of those solid brothers. You know what I'm saying? He's in touch with his blackness, unlike, more so than most players. And he speaks out, and he's very intelligent. So he gets all those positive notes, but this is it was just bad timing. It just didn't seem right. It sounded like you sound petty, dog. You know what I'm saying? You sound like you sound bitter, dog. You know what I'm saying? So these are the qualities that you're showcasing, and you're better than that. But yeah, if I'm JT, I'm looking at I'm going right to Brad. Look here, Brad. You see what's happening. You see, I didn't tell him to say none of that. That's all. That's his podcast. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Or whatever he's affiliated with or whatever. It's time for him to go. Make it happen.
Look, I agree with everything you said. I'll add another pop culture reference. So Bill Simmons, he's a big Boston Celtics fan. He compared the conversation between Tatum and Brown to Stringer and Avon on the roof. Them standing there last good before they both turn on each other. So I'm like, hey, it may be time for him to get out of there. Maybe he wants to
happens, man. Kobe and Shaq.
I don't. Do you think y'all think he's gonna get traded, or do you want to request a trade?
If I'm boss, he out of here. It's only gonna get worse now. It's only gonna get worse.
How much time left?
This might be his, but the problem with his deal is if he re-ups, it'll be for the most ever because he signed for like 5 years, 300. So his extension is going to be yeah. I remember them talking about how Anthony Edwards can be the first, I think $80 million per year player, but Brown could be 90 at the end of his deal if he signs for the max. So
my thing is, here's my thing, and I agree with everything you said, Justin. That's 100% how I looked at it. The thing that hurts Tatum is the team was successful without him last year. The thing that hurts Brown is people going to say if Tatum was there in Game 7, they probably win that series. And Brown did not play well in Game 7. Like, we can call Derek White out. We can call Pritchard out, who all we want. But at the end of the day, you the guy. And you played like garbage. You settled for threes. You didn't drive to the basket. Got offensive fouls. And you went out in the first round. Like, at the end of the day, you went out in the first round. It's not like y'all made a finals push, Eastern Conference Finals, the first round.
You know what's funny?
And I don't
if we would have predicted this going in, like starting last year without Tatum, most people would have had Boston going out in the first round.
Yeah, you thought that was a successful season for them. Yeah,
agreed. No expectation. So I don't think it's smart for him to want to carry the load on his own. I think they were a good team without Tatum, but I think people started taking them serious when Tatum came back, and it looked like Tatum was himself. Without that 1-2 punch, especially looking at, not even talking about the East. I'm not disrespecting New York. I'm not disrespecting nobody over there. But I'm talking about, can you beat OKC? Can you beat San Antonio? Like, can you beat the top dogs without Tatum? No, you can't. You can't. I'm sorry. So no, I don't think it's wise, and I don't think they're going to trade him.
I think he got
another piece to this. Tatum. Now that we've seen it, all right, we've experienced the whole shebang. Now, this was a topic the other day on Arena, and I thought it was interesting. I wanted to bring for y'all perspective. Having seen what we've seen, know what we know, do you think Tatum should have just sat it out and waited until get the whole rehab, the whole season, the whole summer, and start fresh next season completely healthy? Calvin, what's your thoughts?
I mean, when you hear about an Achilles, there are multiple people that say that it takes a while for them to get their legs back, even after they start playing. So if you kind of get that out the way this season, you start fresh next season, you're hitting the ground running. There's no limitations. There are no minutes restrictions. You're able to do everything you were able to do prior to the injury. So, and because you were able to contend for the Eastern Conference Championship this year, then I don't have a problem with it. Now, the minutes restriction was fine. I think he should have played less. He shouldn't have been playing 40 minutes in the playoffs. He should have been working his way up to that. But to even have to do that, should have let you know that this team wasn't as good as you thought they were. So I don't have a problem with him coming back. I have a problem with him playing so much that he basically hurt his knee because of him playing so much coming off the Achilles.
It was his calf.
I thought it
Yeah, I
was his
thought he
knee.
had calf soreness or something
I
like
thought it
that.
was. I didn't think it was calf. I thought it was knee.
Nah, they definitely said lower leg soreness or something like that, which led people to believe it was possibly the same injury reoccurring if he would have kept pushing on it. Hey, pause that for a second. The Lakers up 52-49. And what did I say? Luke Kennard, 8 points, 3 for 4 from the field, 2 for 3. And that's since I brung it up because he had nothing before. But he got 8 points now, 3 for 4 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3-point land. And then you got Austin Reeves, 5 for 9, 13 points, 1 for 2. If they get hot, look, it can happen, man. Like they need those white boys to hit shots. Call it what it is, man. If they hit shots and LeBron play like he play, and you get Hachimura's been consistent. Give him his credit. Keep him involved. This team can play. I ain't saying they're gonna beat OKC, but you give yourself a chance. But you gotta hit shots, man. That's just the basketball. You know.
No, it's like ESPN. It said knee. It said knee.
Is his knee?
It said it was
they,
knee.
they said knee. I think it was first reported as calf because I definitely seen calf.
I remember they said
calf. The only reason I remember hearing knee and non-Achilles leg. So they try to connect the two. That's what I remember hearing.
Also, the other day, he texted Gil Arenas when I was watching the arena, and Gil showed the text, and he's like, he wasn't fit. It just wasn't. It basically alluded to, and then Kenyon was talking about, they're going to put anything on that injury report, but we know what it is. So the whole question is, if you Tatum, and I'm not posing this if you Tatum, because the player is always going to think, I'm good, and I'm trying to get back and try to help my team. If you're the Boston Celtics who's paying this man, who has a long time investment into his future, do you sit him out or do you bring him back? That's knowing what you know now, that he's not going to help you in Game 7. You lost. You might have done more damage. We don't know. It was a chance. Justin, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm letting him play. Because it's funny we just talked about JB, but JB did his part. He made y'all relevant long enough. Whereas though, Tatum starts doing drills. I mean, and we're just saying what the medical report says. If the medical team say he good to go, then he good to go. The medical, I mean, we all eat when Tatum's healthy. If he suffers, guess what? People getting fired. You know what I mean? So it was to their best interest to be truthful. So I think clearly he had to pass all the tests they had for him and all this other stuff. So it gets to a point where, is he healthy or is he not? If he's healthy, then let him go out there. I don't agree with the if you're not if you're healthy, we're still gonna sit you out. I don't like that. If you're healthy, you play. And this is a shout out to the Kyrie Irvings of the world, the Anthony Davises and all them. Like, if you're healthy, you play. If not, then you sit. But to that point, I was still monitoring everything, and he just wasn't right. So even if it was the opposite side, then like the opposite side of his body, that means his body hasn't properly did the rehabs, whereas though everything's even on both sides. And that's something that's a bit easier to work on in the offseason. You know what you have to do now. You know what you have to focus on. He might not have been focused on that. He might have been like, okay, well, I'm good. My ankle good. Let's just say they lost in 4 or 5. Like, okay, he's healthy. You think he's probably going to go back to his regularly scheduled workout program, and he's imbalanced. So this injury, if it's we're just going by what they tell us, if it is the knee and not the calf or anything related to his ankle, to his Achilles, then that shows that he has some kind of imbalance. And now that the rehab team and stuff, they can focus on that. If you don't get hurt, they're not going to focus on it. So I'm kind of, it's like a blessing in disguise kind of a thing. Like, yeah, all right, he was hurt. They found out, and if it is the opposite side knee, then he needs to work on that. That's similar to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose injuries kept going back and forth on both legs. It was one leg on the other leg, on the other leg, on the other leg, because he never got properly balanced again. So this is what Jason Tatum needs to do, and he should be fine. But at least they know now.
That's my biggest fear. You bring up the name. I just don't like when people rush back or look at him. Look at him beat. I mean,
Derrick Rose didn't rush back. He just had bad luck.
No. But Embiid is the name.
Oh yeah,
that's the name. Like it's always something. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll continue to monitor.
I mean, the man had an appendectomy like a month ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, some of these guys.
But you know, he got way more issues than that, though. His issues, low legs,
knees, ankles,
loose face,
and anyway. Let's keep it moving. Let's talk about some Baltimore Orioles, man. Man, it's been rough. When last time the Orioles? I think they won yesterday, didn't they?
They won. They could have swept.
They
won the last two. Yeah, they won the series. They won the last two.
So they lost today, 3-4. Give me an update.
How they lost is crazy.
Thoughts? It's not good, man. Let's start with you, Calvin.
This team lacks pitching. This team lacks timely hitting. This team, as young as they were, as many number one prospects as they had over the years, those guys are inconsistent to this point. And it's just been a reoccurring, and this doesn't even account for the injuries that they've had since All-Star break of 2024 season. You know, since that point when you've had Westberg on the injury list, 3 or 4 times, Rushman on the injury list, Gunner on the injury list, Cowser. So all your young guys, and that doesn't include Jackson this year. So all your young guys have had multiple stays on the IL since that 2020, since that midpoint of the 2024 season. You've had just poor pitching performances, injuries on the pitching staff. It as bad as they're playing, they're still in the thick of things for the wild card. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it just shows how bad the AL is as a whole. But they got to be more consistent. They got their butts kicked out in New York all weekend just to go to Miami and win 2 out of 3. And they should have swept them outside of a poor error in the ninth inning. But it's just an inconsistent team at this point. And at this point, this is what they are. This is what they've been the last year plus. It's inconsistent. So why should we expect anything else day to day? Just know they're going to be inconsistent.
I mean,
they're
going to
look great for a couple games, and then there are going to be a couple games where they don't look as great. So,
Justin, your thoughts on the team?
I just saw that play too, Calvin. That made me sick. Those that don't know, Kobe Mayo had a routine grounder. Third baseman, just throw it to the first baseman, catch and throw. It's funny. It's funny how certain things play themselves out real quick. We have this one girl on the softball team, and I'm not going to badmouth her, but you know,
clearly
at the end of the day, when she fumbles a pass or misses a grounder or something like that, I was like, I guarantee you she's going to overthrow. I guarantee you she's going to mess up the following throw.
The rhythm off.
Every time it does it. So every other time she's boom, 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 boom until she bobbles. I said it's going to be a bad throw because she overcompensates. You know, I got to get it out quickly. Kobe Mayo did the exact same thing.
Yeah,
he bobbled it and then
ran around in front of him. He double clutched it and
it was over.
Bounced it.
Alonso ain't have a chance on it. That's just like what they say, a microcosm of the season. It's just we up and down. Like Calvin said, we're inconsistent at best. We're not. We're bad. I'll say that. I don't like the inconsistent thing. We're just bad. What are you consistent on? You beat the White Sox. You beat the Miami team. We got smoked by New York. Like it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't close.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we are the best of the bad bunch. That's what we are right now, and that's absolutely god awful to say. And there's no help in sight, guys. I'm sorry. We just want to. It's gonna be a long summer. It's gonna be a long summer. Yeah, that's where we're at. It's gonna be a long
it's not good. It's not good. But you never know. Things can turn around. Let's keep moving because it's getting there close to 11 o'clock. We started a little late tonight, but we're gonna end the night on some professional wrestling. Man, this past week has been crazy. The New Day got cut. Well, the New Day didn't get cut. So
They walked away.
The story going around is that the New Day got cut, but in all in actuality, TKO made the decision to cut the salaries of certain performers that they didn't believe that they had a lot of big plans for going forward, that they possibly at one point paid a lot of money to, and they offered them the ability to take a pay cut. And if they didn't take the pay cut, they were going to cut them. The New Day were probably one of a couple different acts, according to sources, that opted to not take the pay cut and were in fact cut because of it. Others were just simply cut, or you haven't heard their names because they took the pay cut. So there are people who are still there who you thinking like, why are they still there? How come they weren't cut? They probably took the pay cut, took less money. And TKO's explanation is, well, under the old system, we were paying you guys a lot of money because you were on the road all the time. You did house shows. You might be in one town on Tuesday, another town on Wednesday, be off on Thursday. Then you do the weekend loop. You would do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But now, literally, you only work TV. So you might do Raw. You're off all week if it's no pay-per-view week. Sometimes there's a house show on a Saturday, but a lot of times it's not. So you might only work once a week. And then on pay-per-view weeks, months, you work twice that week because you go on Raw, you on SmackDown. Now, some people do Raw and SmackDown, so you might work twice a week. But juxtapose that to people who working 5 and 6 days a week in the past, and we were paying you all this money for that. So again, the old way of doing it, you pay people according to the house. You didn't pay them according to dates. They don't do that anymore. They give everybody a flat salary. So no matter if you work 30 dates or 100 dates, you get paid $2 million. Back in the day, you got paid off of whatever the town drew. So if the stadium drew 15,000 people and we only drew 9,000 a night, you get a percentage of that. That's how it always was done until I want to say the WWE Network came along. That's when the whole pay structure changed. But anyway, TKO's pay structure, huh?
That's when they went public, right?
Well, they went public in 99. The WWE Network came in like 2012, 13,
11, 12-ish, yeah.
But anyway, so they feel like y'all been getting over the last couple of years, but we've been overpaying a lot of y'all. Because apparently, now again, this was reported from the TKO side, they didn't want to just come in after they bought the company and just start cutting a lot of people right away. So last year, they didn't cut a lot of people. They cut a very minimum amount of people. This year, they said it was some overdue contracts, and they decided. Now, that comes after the next day, yesterday, they reported record growth, a record amount of revenue, record amount of everything, gave people raises in the offices, and Nick Khan and all these guys made all this extra money, but you ain't got money for your wrestlers. But they like, well, we work 5 days a week. Y'all work 1 day a week. So that's the points of view. It's ways to look at this. It's ways you can be like, hey, it's not fair. It's not equal. But again, I remember when Hulk Hogan signed the first, because back in the 90s, Sting money was considered $400,000 a year. That was big money, Sting money. So Hall and Nash, when they left WWF to go to WCW and start the NWO, they wanted to make fully guaranteed Sting money, but they wanted more than Sting. They wanted at least $500,000 or $600,000. Nash was WWF champion, so he got the higher end. Hall took the lower end. Hogan was making his flat salary, but then he got a percentage of the pay-per-view. Remember, they got paid off pay-per-view back then.
And merchandise.
There is no pay-per-view no more, so you don't get paid off pay-per-view. You don't get paid off of how many subscriptions people sign up on ESPN or whatever like that. So anyway, the whole pay structure is just completely different. Back then, if you don't go on the road and work, you ain't get paid. Now people sit at home and collect big checks. Roman Reigns might wrestle 5 times a year and make the most money in the company. You know what I mean? It's just different. So it's very hard to compare and contrast. And then the biggest thing, you don't have house shows. You don't have those shows on a Friday night or Saturday night or Thursday night in Baltimore where you just go with no televised. So, it's hard to just keep comparing it to the old days. This is just the way it is, man. And they weren't going to use the New Day anymore to the level of what the New Day used to be. Because you got Javon, you got Oba, you got Street Profits, you got Usos, you got other people that they think of higher on the food chain. But they ain't just get rid of food. But the New Day, they got rid of the Motor City Machine Gun. They got rid of the Wyatt Six. They got rid of almost damn near the whole tag team division, it feel like. So we'll see what they do. That's my soliloquy. What's your thoughts on all the stuff that's been happening? Summarizing pretty much what I just said, but just your thoughts on that. Calvin, I'll start with you.
Is it also true that they don't like dark characters and that's why they release Aleister Black along with the Y6?
That was a rumor, but
okay.
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
This is what happens when you restructure and eventually, or you're taking over. Eventually, the new owners, the new people in charge want to do things their way, and this was one of the things that they wanted to do. Not saying I agree with it, but you lose a lot of talent, you lose fan favorites, and you really aren't even booking the talent that you have effectively to the point. Now you're making money, of course, but to the point where the public is happy with the storylines going forward. We've had many questions about storylines going forward, going back to last year, and you're still using retired wrestlers, i.e., John Cena, in your last 2 pay-per-views to even draw numbers there. You've had to have John Cena come back and say some amazing announcement is going to happen at Backlash. Why is it even needed to sell tickets or to put eyes on Backlash instead of the product? Is it because you're only getting 5 matches for every pay-per-view, or pay-per-views not that are the major pay-per-views? Is that the reason now? So we can all say the product has changed. We can all say that we don't like these changes, but this is the way the TK is going to move forward. So either you're on this bandwagon, you're gonna find another avenue to watch wrestling. But I do think there will become a time where there's a major act, there's a major a draw that will not be in line with these changes, and that will be the time where we start to see who really has the power and who really is the draw. Is it TKO or is it the talent? Because for all we know, TKO is just behind the scenes. They're getting paid, and you talk about those numbers that were released earlier today. They're getting paid, but they're not the major draw. They're just the money behind it, and they're just taking some of that money that they're getting from overseas, from that Saudi money, into line their pockets, and because we know it's not going to the town anymore.
Justin,
what I've seen is just what I see in everything else. TKO fancies the wrestling business as real sports. Well, when it comes to real sports, the owners get more money, which is what happened, and the players, well, look here, man, you making some odd dollars, and homeboy, your stats ain't the same stats as they were before. Well, I ain't getting my opportunities. The ball is not going your way. Well, shit, you're going to tell that to somebody else that's willing to pay that contract, because I'm not doing it. And heads got to roll. So I'm not really mad at TKO. Like, that's just business. The New Day, they deserve to get a pay cut. That was just a fact. Now, the problem is the creative. Why aren't they doing what they're supposed to do? Why aren't they in demand and so on, all this other stuff? After you do a heel turn, did you not know that? Did you do a heel turn not knowing that Big E was going to be like healthy or not healthy? Like. Did you confirm that before you did that? Who knows? There's been plenty of people that have domestic violence issues that's working in WWE. Did you go back to Ozzy Jones and say, look at dog, we was wrong. Come on back, dog. No, you didn't do these things, right? So you didn't do the things to help out the New Day. John Cena went heel. maybe him and the New Day could have did something together. All Truth went heel. Maybe him and the New Day could have did something together. You just let them hang there, and you didn't provide any lifelines. They had like one match after that, 1 or 2 matches, and that was it, or televised matches. So that's more of a creative thing than a TKO thing. TKO is just the people that's saying, like, look here, man. Hey, man, I see money and I see your production, and it don't add up. Something got to get.
Well,
Go
apparently
ahead.
they asked for a list because you bringing up people from NXT. Anytime you bring up people, you got to move people down.
Somebody got to go.
Yeah.
The rookies got to get time. Somebody got to go.
But that's part of the thing I don't think people realize. It's a different pay structure on the main roster compared to NXT. So when they say they asked people to take pay cut, they were saying they were going to send these people down to NXT to work with some of the younger talent, help get them up, because you're moving people up. You need to supplement experienced people. You know how you always had some vets to try to work with younger talent.
Johnny Gargano just did that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He took
Natty just did it. She just showed back up on NXT.
You know what I mean? Like you. But if you're going to work down there or AAA, that's a different pay structure than you get paid on Raw or SmackDown and working on PLEs. And New Day felt like they were above going down there. So, and rightfully so. If the New Day is going to walk right into AEW with a ready-made feud with the Young Bucks, with FTR, Edge and Christian, and the Young Bucks and the New Day been wanting to work together for years because they play video games together. Like, it's like a forbidden thing. Like, they always been wanting to do something. They got that show Up, Up, Down, Down. That was the Young Bucks and the New Day and Kenny Omega. Like, they was all like, they're going right to AEW as soon as the non-compete is up. So that'll be fine. That's why they didn't take it.
They'll be fine. Yeah. You once you know once you know your worth, and especially if you physically talking to the competition, saying, "Hey, dog, as soon as things happen, if things go left, we got about 5 or 6 matches ready for you." You don't think they offered AJ Styles? That's why they offered him the Hall of Fame.
That's
they don't even want him to get out of here. You feel me? So that's exactly what it is. So
Randy could have went to AEW. Edge did go. You know what I mean? Like Jericho. Anyway, the point is, and I agree with you, it's a business, but I don't compare it to NFL or NBA because in NFL, if one team cut you, 31 other teams got an opportunity.
You don't have that same.
You have about four squads.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no, but in professional wrestling, realistically, WWE and AEW can pay you top dollar. It's not about if there's an organization who can pay you the money that you feel like you can live off of and make a real living. And I don't have to go out here and work a bunch of independents, scrapping by, signing autographs. I can just make big money. There's only 2 companies, and that's AEW. And if they got so many people and you flooding the market with all these cuts, they're not going to be able to pick up everybody. Like, so they only going to take a few select people, like Aleister Black is probably going to go back over there. New Day will go over there. A lot of these other people, unfortunately, they might have to take a TNA. They might have to take, they ain't paying no money in TNA. You know what I mean? They're going to take a serious pay cut. That's why a lot of people who were offered the pay cut to stay in WWE, they just stayed because they know if they leave WWE, you ain't making that amount of money out there on the open market, on the street. So you might as well stay with WWE. It's the benefits. You never know. They might decide to use you a little better. You might up your value. I'm gonna show them. Apparently, one of the people who took the cut was LA Knight. I mean, you can see it. How they use them. They like, hey man, well, you cool and all, but we don't have them. We don't need to be paying you $5 million a year. You know what I mean? Like, he took the pay cut. There was a rumor going around that Drew McIntyre might have been, but I don't think they did that to Drew. Drew would have left. Drew would have went to AEW.
Drew would have left. Drew would have left.
Your boy Damian Priest, I think he took the pay cut. I think he did.
What you think he want? He gonna leave and leave Lola here?
Nah, he ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
But a couple of names out there, they was like, hey man, we're gonna need you scale back a little bit. And they was like, okay. The Miz
Street
ain't
profits.
going nowhere.
Yeah.
Like Miz, a WWE guy for life. But we ain't paying you, ain't no champion, you ain't on that level no more. I don't know about the street profits, to be honest with you.
I think so.
But yeah, so again, I don't know, man. It's a tough business. It is what it is, but I hear the whole sentiment though. Because when we were kids, they ran shows. Them guys was on the road all the
300 days a year.
time.
Yeah.
Better product.
Yeah.
And now they work once a week.
More time to work together. More time to
more
the in-ring product. Yeah.
You know, and that's where I lose the sympathy card because, I mean, yeah, we grew up in order to be a wrestler, we almost looked at wrestlers like gladiators. Y'all remember American Gladiator? Like either you're gonna be on the average Joe side or you're gonna be on the gladiator side. Everybody wants to be on the gladiator side. So wrestlers looked a certain way. These wrestlers today don't look like they did 10, 15, 20 years ago. Not all, like what we're doing. So
now.
But not even steroids is the fact that if you are doing this and you're not doing as many households as you used to do, and you getting guaranteed money,
you need to be in tip-top shape.
Just work out. Like what are we talking about here?
Talking to you, Jay Uso.
Just work out. You should not be gassing and all this other stuff. So it is more than just Jay, as you know. But it's like, come on, man. Like that's my issue with that. If it is, you got it made. Y'all got it made.
But that's what they wanted. They wanted, like, we want to work less dates. We want to be with our family more. The old generation, they were on the road all the time. They were always fighting injury. That's why they were taking pain pills. That's why they was getting high. That's why Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit did what they did. They were always on the road. They were always hurting, so they had to take pills to get by.
Take this pay cut
now y'all got it made. But I ain't gonna pay you for it.
And just like in real sports, what they say? Yeah, man, 82 games is too long, man. Y'all need to go down to 62. Okay,
give some money back.
We won't take some of that money back. You know what? I think I can square. I can at least give y'all 65, 66 games. Okay,
but that's the thing. It's like oxymoron though, because you saw Brock Lesnar. Brock come in 8 dates a year, make more than everybody in the company. Roman might wrestle at WrestleMania, SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series, Royal Rumble.
They gonna be on Raw.
They the biggest draw. They come in. That's
the foundation. That's the foundation of wrestling, though. Wrestling is not a sport; it's an attraction. Those are the biggest attractions. You gonna have to just them dudes get that money. Just hopefully that
Hogan
you get
used to show up on Nitro, like every month. Like Hogan here this week. All right, and it was the highest rated segment.
Guys, I'm bored, man. Let's go ahead on through. let me give somebody one leg drop and get up out of here.
leg drop. I'm just gonna go to the ring with the mic. That's it.
When last time you see Roman Reigns wrestle on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown? It don't happen. CM Punk was the last champion who actually was wrestling regularly on television. Like that's what I mean. Like Cody might have him. Cody had a match
Cody had a match. Cody lost the belt on what was that main event?
It was on SmackDown. He lost Cody wrestled 2 weeks ago, didn't he?
He wrestled last week. He fought Ricky Starks.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. But, he a fighting champion. But I'm saying Roman, Brock's, those guys ain't coming.
Brock ain't been on Raw since 02, 03?
Man, get out of here. Move on.
He ain't that much of a fighting champion.
That's it, folks. Backlash. Oh, we didn't go to lineup. Real quick, Backlash this weekend. You got main event of it's gonna be Roman Reigns versus the Tongan kid.
Jacob Fatu.
I know. He got the Tongan death grip like he Haku. Y'all know Haku is father, right?
Yeah, I did know that.
Yeah. I don't care.
You don't care about the great Haku. Anyway,
I don't care about that bloodline.
You're a hater. It's gonna be
more than one bloodline. That's
I think they've kind of big three. I think they've kind of made you trying to think that Fatu could win, and then the whole story about removing Roman from the June schedule people think, oh, maybe Roman not going to be champion, so he got not going to need to be on TV. I don't think that's the case. Why is Marcus Smart jacking up threes for no reason?
So we got Roman's winning, right? We all got Roman winning.
Yeah, Roman winning.
Okay.
There's a rumor that Io Sky and Oscar might have a third party involved. Might have a little closure segment with Kairi Sane coming back for that. Just to close up things. That's the rumor. What y'all think?
I heard that it's for one night only. You can save that shit. I don't need to see this.
I agree.
I think that's gonna be a good match, though. I think it's
gonna be a phenomenal match.
Yeah.
It just when they took out Kyrie, it just lost everything. To me it just fell on his face. And it was like something's missing. And I've seen it. Like I watched it. The interact. It's not the same. So I think that was just bad timing a little bit for them. I don't mind it. Kyrie can go.
All right. Next up, who you got winning?
It gotta be Io.
Calvin?
Yeah.
She took too many
Io.
L's.
Yeah.
Io.
Next up, you have Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. I think this is interesting. I think Braun wins this match. I think he's the one who's younger, needs the momentum. I know Seth is coming back. He just lost at WrestleMania, so maybe you keep it going with some type of inconclusive finish. But I think to give the credibility.
I said Braun at first. That segment, I keep saying that segment over and over again. When Seth told Roman, "You're in my way," I was like, "Why does that sound familiar?" And then I realized that's what Roman said to Cody on that cinegraphics, that cinema they did in the Georgia Dome or whatever. He was like, "You're in my way in life."
Oh yeah,
you're in my way. He used the exact same words. And I'm like, "Are you fighting Roman soon? Is this what's happening?"
That was a plan at one point.
That was the plan at one point. And they don't really scrap plans. They like to set it aside and try to go back to it.
Then come back to it. Yeah.
And I'm like,
this is a long push to SummerSlam now.
I got Seth winning, man. He has to finish this thing with the vision.
Is it ever finished though?
Whatever.
I think you got to keep Braun strong in some way.
Yeah, I know, but they might know that Braun ain't it, man.
He is it. Come on, man. That guy's legit. That guy's legit. He's a Steiner. Let's stop playing.
And what Steiner was great? What Steiner won a championship?
Scott.
He ain't win no WWE championship.
You ain't say that.
That was a beast, man. Come on.
He ain't win no WWE championship.
Because Triple H wouldn't let him, but
I don't care.
He should have.
Hey, guess who's running creative right now?
Nah, they like Braun, man. I love him. I think Braun is great, and I think the
how is he great? He's terrible on the mic.
He's not terrible on the mic. He's funny, like his Uncle Scott. Like he's funny.
He
man.
needs improvement. He needs improvement.
I think he's good.
He needs a lot. He
needs Paul Heyman more than Seth Rollins does.
That's why he with Paul Heyman, and he's a great in-ring talent. He's explosive. He's
injury prone. That's what he is.
He's only got hurt once.
He got hurt a few times.
When?
First and foremost, he got in the way, and Seth hit him with the chair. I blame Braun for that.
I mean, he ain't missing no time off that. Man.
He lost that matchup with the table.
That was it. That was his injury. I like him, and I think they have a lot of. This is a problem with WWE, and I think somebody mentioned it recently, and I agree with it. They got too many guys they want to protect. They don't. They have too many similar. Like you have an Obafemi, you have a Jacob Fox too.
Somebody gotta lose.
Somebody gotta lose. A Braun Breaker. You have like these big guys. Like that was why. Like it's certain guys like Royce Keys. Like you got these guys who I feel like all really should be booked very similarly, but you can't book them all the same way. Because Gunther, like these big guys who you want to
lose.
You don't want them to lose because you want to keep them special, but they gotta lose at some point because it's like these are your guys. Like that's a good thing to have a lot of guys that are good who you got a future for, but you do need a couple back and forth feuds. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality.
I've been thinking. I think Braun Breaker wins. And I think we get Roman Braun Breaker, and that's had Seth reinserts himself into that. And I think that's what happens.
Hold up.
So what happens with Oba? Oba just sitting the sideline the whole time?
I don't think they know what to do with Oba.
I don't think they're going right to Oba. They want to protect them and build them up. I would have Oba win the Intercontinental title.
You know he's not fighting him before SummerSlam. So then what's next?
Brock win the Intercontinental title?
Yeah.
He won a championship before he won the Intercontinental.
He beat The Rock. He beat The Rock at SummerSlam.
That was for the
title, and then he won the Intercontinental later. But Brock was like different. And remember, WWE was kind of trash at that time when Brock came along. Like they had Brock Cena up, Randy Orton, Brock. All of them around the same time because they needed to retool.
That was good. This is around the time they had Rock Part Time. You had Hogan's last run.
Rock Austin was gone.
Gone.
They
Hogan's last run
at that time. So they shot to the sky real quick. But what I'm saying is, right now, you got Roman. The problem is on SmackDown. I would take the title off Cody. I don't think they want to beat Roman right now.
So
you know what I mean?
You gonna have it on Gunther?
Yeah.
The problem I have is then they protect him so much. He's not going to win. He's going to lose.
That's when you shoot up a Royce Keys or one of those other big guys to beat Gunther. It's more impactful. It's like Obafemi beating Brock. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's more impressive, don't you? Like, I just don't think you should play with a Roman loss right now. You save that for a big show like SummerSlam, WrestleMania. But in the meanwhile,
you just put it back on Cody, and if he doesn't lose to Randy, I don't think he loses before SummerSlam.
Okay, who's the United States champion? Trick?
Yeah.
Do you want to beat Trick already?
He's got a feud with Sami Zayn first.
He goes to the Money in the Bank, wins that.
And that's how if he does that, he gotta lose to Sami Zayn.
That's what I'm saying. If we sat down, us
gotta lose to Sami Zayn for that,
and looked at the roster,
you gonna have him as U.S. title and win Money in the Bank.
Book everybody, but it would be a fun exercise. Maybe we do that one day. I put everybody on the screen. How would you book these different people? You got to protect somebody. You got to save somebody, make them special.
Cody can catch some L's. Gunther can catch some L's. Yeah, that'd be easy for me.
All right, who's your champion?
Who else you like, Larry? Just tell me who you like.
Who's your world champion on SmackDown?
That's who's gonna catch
the L. World. Who's your world champion on SmackDown in your perfect world?
Right now?
Yes.
The person that closes the show.
Cody.
Trick. He closes the show. Champion? Does he not close the show? Trick's been closing SmackDown. Cody comes up with that little mix segment thing that he does from time to time, and you won't see Cody no more. It's Trick's show. Right. Y'all just got to come to the understanding that it's Trick's show.
I'll have it on Cody until I determine who I want to beat him at SummerSlam. If that's Trick, that's Royce Keys.
I would have put the title on Jacob 5-2. And then,
okay, if we want to backtrack a little bit,
yes,
because of right now he's on Raw, kind of right. I don't know what he's doing. So, okay, give me a second. So with that being said, like, go to the bathroom. So with that being said, it's like they should have kept 5-2 there, and that would have been the payoff of him beating Drew, is to go against Cody, and then he beats Cody. Yes. And then I'm like, okay, Trick can go back and beat 5-2 or however you want to do it.
Yes.
But I don't know why they went so heavy on this family first situation
and for him to lose. That's my point.
What we doing? That's what they was building 5-2 up for. That's why he's beating Drew.
I would have held off on it. But they wanted something hot off of Mania. because he's big, and Roman probably wanted him. But I don't know, man. Roman was on SmackDown, and then he just magically became a Raw guy because he went after the Raw title. So, I can't keep up. It is what it is. I think it's a lot more difficult to book than people realize, and I'm interested. I'm interested in a few things they're doing, but I really think they just need to get back to beating some guys. You can't protect everybody because, like they do LA Knight, I don't mind them beat LA Knight. People be complaining about them beat LA Knight. Somebody got to lose.
LA Knight had a singles victory since when?
I mean, it is what it is.
Okay.
Everybody can't win. OKC took the lead. Oh, wow. Oh, well. Hey, it was fun while it lasted. Let's get out of here. Appreciate you all tuning in. It's been a real fun show. Calvin, any final thoughts?
Yeah, we're looking forward to this pay-per-view. It's a bunch of fights coming on this summer, too. We ain't talk about boxing, but it's a bunch of fights starting, I think, next week. That runs to the conclusion with Earl Spence and Anthony Joshua on the same card.
Is it really happening?
Which one?
Earl Spence.
Yeah, I think it's happening. Supposedly he's been training with Bud, supposedly. So I think it's happening. I think it's happening.
We'll see. I think Justin's out of here, but for Justin, Calvin, I'm Larry. We appreciate y'all watching us tonight. Be sure to share the live, let your people know we're here. Typically on Wednesday nights, but we do a special show sometimes on Thursday. And we're gonna keep keeping up with these NBA playoffs. Great stuff.
W starts this week too. We ain't talking about it. The W starts this week.
Or this weekend. Wow. I wasn't even thinking about that. We'll touch on it next week. But y'all enjoy your Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day once again to all the mothers out there, including our mothers. We really appreciate everything you've done for us, and hopefully you know that you're loved not just on holidays, but on every day. Love you and appreciate you, everybody else. And make sure y'all take care of y'all mothers. Y'all watching this, do something good for your parent. She's they gave you life. Appreciate them. Do something good for them this weekend. And remember when I said, if y'all looking for a good gift, go on that site called Whatnot. Man, I cleaned up. I got boxes lined up over there. I'm ready to open up, see what's in there now. But good stuff on there for good Mother's Day gift. And it shipped pretty quick.
NFL schedule will be out next week.
Next week? Okay. All right. Justin, any final words? You want to shoot out a Mother's Day salute to any special people in your life?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the mothers of the world. New ones, old ones, retired ones, former ones, incoming ones, future ones. All of them. Baby mamas.
Great way to, Lord, we thank you. All right. For Calvin, Justin, I'm Larry. Before we get canceled, we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for watching. Get off the Dad Fits. Have a good night.
Posey love